Hi, welcome to the Scapegoat Club. My name's Jess, and in this video I want to talk about the different and varying emotions that come with family estrangement. Hi guys, welcome back to the woodshed today, and in today's video I want to talk about the various emotions that happen when we are in a family estrangement situation. And just before I start off, I am estranged from my family, so there is a part of my own experience in this, but I'm also trained to be a psychologist, and I did some research, and I will put there's an interesting paper that I was reading on estrangement, so I'm going to put that in the notes as well. So I'm going to talk about what the research says, but I am not impartial, so take it for what it is. So the paper I was reading was research conversations with people who are experiencing family estrangement. They were all adults who were either estranged from parents or from siblings. So there was no parent that was estranged from a child that was involved in the study. So just background, I understand that the parents' emotions around estrangement are a lot different to the child's. So this perspective is either from children who are estranged from their parents or estranged from siblings. And I think before I get into it, it's important to think that there are different types of estrangement as well. They could be voluntary, they could be involuntary. So you could be saying no to somebody, or somebody may have said no to you. They could be covert or overt, so that means that they could be really obvious, like, no, I've said no, I meant no, and I'm not going to see you, I'm not going to talk to you. Or it might be what's called as an emotional cutoff, where really you kind of go through the motions, but you don't have any deep or any meaningful relationship. I'm just going to talk in general about these different types of emotions. I'm not going to get into what exactly estrangement is, because what was clear to me is that there was a real strong theme in the emotions that people felt, and there are a lot of emotions, so I want to just concentrate on those. So when we look at estrangement, there are a lot of different emotions. A key one that comes up is anger. People are really angry that either someone has cut them off or they've got to the point where they need to cut someone off. There's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of sadness as well. Sadness that the person has got to the point where they feel that they have to estrange, where they realize that they don't have the positive and the supportive relationship that they want from their family. And also sadness towards the person that they're estranged from, in terms of seeing a lot of hurt and a lot of difficulty around the fact that this had to happen. There's a strong sense of injustice around estrangement, and there's also a lot of doubt and uncertainty. Doubt around whether it was the right decision, whether there are any other options, and uncertainty as well when triangulation can happen, or manipulation, when different people say different things, and so the truth around the estrangement may not be fully understood, or may be misrepresented to other family members. There can also be a lot of social pressure around the decision to estrange, or the fact that you are estranged. It could be that being estranged means that people pressure you into just accepting the other person, or to doing what you can to reverse the estrangement. And that can also lead to a lot of feelings of isolation, because if people aren't understanding what you're talking about when you are estranged, or they want to persuade you not to, or they're not supportive in your decision, then the consequence of that is that you don't want to talk to people about it, and then you become more isolated and more questioning into how you're feeling. There can be a lot of stress and anxiety around the estrangement process, especially if there's conflict and difficult conversations. And there's a real sense of loss, a real strong sense of loss and grief, because it's acknowledging the ending or the reality of a relationship that isn't the way that families and close relationships should be. So those are kind of more of the difficult emotions around estrangement, but there are some really positive ones as well. And I think this is something that this ambiguity is something that if you're going through an estrangement or you're thinking about it, maybe this is something that is adding to a bit of the confusion. There can be a really strong sense of safety when you estrange, especially if it's an abusive relationship or you're concerned about health or safety. Feeling that you've done what you need to do to extract yourself from a harmful situation can actually be a really strong relief. And this feeling of emotional or physical safety is really strong and really important. There may also be a really strong sense of freedom that we can now make the choices that we need to do without considering or accommodating other people that were previously stopping us from making the decision we wanted to make. There can be a strong sense of relief around the fact that the source of conflict, so either that overt argumentative type of situation or that underlying feeling of unease when everything's kind of fake and you're just playing the game. So this feeling of relief about you don't have to play those games or you don't have to be in those arguments anymore, that's a really strong and positive emotion as well. There can be a shift of energy, especially if you've been in a really a toxic relationship where the person that you're with is taking a lot of energy that you need for yourself and routing it towards themselves. Being able to shift that focus and that energy from the difficult relationship and put it into yourself or ourselves and focus on what we need, focus on positive relationships, focusing on our future and our well-being, that is a wonderful, wonderful feeling to have. Also relating to that, there are, as we kind of get in control and around our lives and the direction we're going, we gain these feelings of autonomy and strength that we can and we are capable and able and worthy to make these big decisions, hard as they are, difficult as they are, but we can make them, and life does go on, and there are some really, really positive aspects of, unfortunately, this very, very difficult situation. The other thing that the research showed was that the difficult emotions seem to really abate over time. The longer estrangement went, the less that the anger and the sadness were really prevalent in those people's lives, and that the more accepting and that the healthier they felt. So also the stronger the estrangement, the further the separation, whether it be physically or mentally, emotionally, or both, but the more disconnect there was, actually the healthier people felt about the estrangement. So if you are thinking of estrangement or you are in estrangement and wondering if it's the right decision, I hope that this really helps, that there are a lot of emotions and there's a lot of doubt and uncertainty and confusion and sadness and loss, but then there is all this, the positive sides of gaining control of our lives and getting back our autonomy and our ability to make the decisions that we need to, and finding that personal growth that maybe we weren't able to access before. It's a complicated, difficult situation, but please know that if this video tells you anything, you're not on your own. And I don't know about you, but I can relate to pretty much every single emotion that this study identified, and that just makes me feel that, oh yeah, it's a relief. It's a relief to know that it's not just me. Another really interesting fact actually was that it said that estrangement, and I should say that the study was in, I think, Ireland or the UK and or Australia and the US. I think that may have been a mixture, but kind of Western white society. But what it did say was that estrangement is probably as common as divorce, but it's not talked about. So you're not on your own, my friends, if this is where you are. And please be strong. Please know that whatever decision you have made or you will make is the right decision for you, and you're making it for good reasons. And if you want to share your comments below, if you think that these emotions are, if reflected how you feel, or if there are any that were missed, I'd actually be really interested to hear that too, because we're all learning together. Thank you so much, my friends. As always, thank you for being here. Thank you so much for the support, and I will look forward to talking to you again soon. Take care. Bye for now.